Now we have a last change that we need to perform. Now remember the last week. So let me show the explanation here. The agent says that, okay, the manager, I am sorry, not the agent, but the manager says that. So the production manager indicates that she was considering purchasing a special rack to the store waiting for the parts in the rework area. So as you have seen in the rework area, we have a huge number of parts waiting in the queue. Unfortunately, we cannot just put these parts next to the machine. So we need to purchase racks, okay? So a rack can hold 10 assemblies each. So we are just going to take a frequency statistic here. We are going to take a frequency statistic here on the number of items that are waiting in the queue of the rework process. And we are just going to count the percentage of time where we have 0 parts waiting in the queue. We are going to count the percentage of time where we have 1 to 10 parts in that queue. We are going to count the percentage of time where we have 11 to 12 parts in this queue and 21 to 30 parts in this queue. So we are just going to count the percentage of time, fraction of time that we have here. So our objective here is to determine the number of racks with capacity 10 that we need to purchase. So how we are going to do that? By adding a statistic. Okay, we are going to add a statistic we are going to use a statistic module in the advanced process panel. Okay, so actually we have statistics here, but do not look the statistics panel here. It is in the advanced process panel. Okay, in the advanced process panel, as you can see here, we have a module that is called statistics. Okay, that is called statistics here. Now, if you, so I think, okay, of course, I need to stop the simulation. So now let me go back to the advanced process panel once again, and we have the statistics spreadsheet view here. Now, if you double click on here, you can add your first statistic. And that statistic, so let me edit it with a dialog box so you can better understand it. So the name of that statistic is going to be rework Q stat. Okay? And the type of the statistic here is going to be frequency. We have a frequency type of statistic. And the frequency type is a value. And we need to write the expression here. So we are going to check the frequency of which variable? The Q size, right? The Q size in the rework process. So I'm just going to double click on that. And I will say, I'm just going to choose the Q and the current number in Q in which process? In the rework process. So NQ here stands for the number waiting in the queue. So the number waiting in the queue, in the rework process queue, is going to be analyzed. It is going to be analyzed, and we are going to get a frequency statistic on the number of items waiting in that queue. Okay? And the collection period is the entire replication. So through the entire replication, we are going to collect stats. But if you change user specified, for example, you can collect that statistic only in the second shift from time 8 to time 16, for example. Okay. Now we are going to collect that value in the entire replication. Okay. And it is going to be, the values are going to be reported in the rework Q stats here. Now we are just going to add categories here. If we are going to calculate the frequencies, we are going to determine the histogram of that value. So I am just going to add here categories. The first category is going to be a constant at 0, and the name of the category is going to be 0x. Okay, so if we have 0 items in the queue, then we will require 0x, right? So click OK. Then I am going to add another category, but this time the next category is going to be a range, and the range of the next category is going to be from 0 to 10. And the name of this category is going to be 1 rack. So if we have 0 to 10 items waiting in the queue, then we will need 1 rack. And I say again another range, 10 to 20, and the category name here is going to be 2 racks. Okay, and add another category here again as range. Okay, and that is going to be 20 to 30. Sorry. And the name of the category will be 3 racks. And finally, let's just add another range, the final range. Let's just make it 30 to 40, and the category name is going to be 4 racks. Okay. Now you see we have defined a rework queue stats as a frequency which observes the value of the number of items waiting in the queue of the rework process through the entire replication, and the categories are defined here in these 5 rows. So we have a constant value 0 and range value from 0 to 10. Okay. Now let's see if we run that simulation in the fastest way possible. So it is going to end in 20 replications. Soon it is going to end. I would like to see the results right now. And in the results that you have defined, so we will have user specified statistics here. Under the, okay, that's not here, I guess. So let me check the queue. Maybe I will see it here. So let me. Okay, I think it is not here, but in these reports where we have. Okay, we have frequencies here, yes. So under the reports here, we have frequency reports. And in the frequency reports, you see it says, so in 26% of the time, we will observe 0 parts. So we will need 0 racks. In 60% of the time, we will observe parts in that queue from 1 to 10. So we have 1 rack, we need 1 rack. In 12% of the time, we will be needing 2 racks. And in 1.25% of the time, we will be needing 3 racks. So as a manager, I would prefer to purchase 2 racks, at most 2 racks. I wouldn't purchase the 3rd rack, because only in a very, very small percentage of time, I will be needing a 3rd rack. Okay? So usually, in a very, very large percentage of time, the size of the queue is less than or equal to 20 items. Only a very, very small percentage of time, it is greater than 20. So at the first place, I would purchase 2 racks only to store these items.